Our house is dim and quiet as I move through the rooms like a thief, rifling through boxes and drawers, fumbling with things my father kept hidden so as not to be reminded of his grief. I weave between chairs and baskets, drying racks and jars, my footsteps careful. I can hear Shu coughing softly through the walls, tossing in her bed. She has gotten worse in these past few days. Soon the poison will take her, as it did our mother. Which is why I must leave tonight before my father tries to stop me, and I'm bound here by guilt and fear until it is too late. I touch the scroll hidden in the folds of my tunic to reassure myself it is still there. I find what I'm looking for in the back of the storeroom. My mother's shennong-shi box, hidden from view in a corner cupboard. Memories slip from beneath the opened lid with a sigh, as if they'd been waiting for me there in the tea-scented dark. I run my fingers over each groove in the wood, touching every compartment, remembering how we repeated the names of the stored items over and over again. This box is a map of her teachings, her stories, her magic. But the sight brings back other memories. A broken teacup, a dark stain on her floor. I shut the lid quickly. In the back of the same cupboard, I find other jars, labeled in Mother's meticulous writing. My hands tremble slightly when I open the jar of last summer's tea leaves. The final harvest I helped her with, walking along the garden paths, plucking the leaves from willing branches. As I inhale the scent of the roasted leaves, the fragrance turns to bitterness on the back of my tongue. I'm reminded of how my last attempts at wielding the magic resulted in tears and failure, and I swore I would not touch these tools again. But that was before the scroll appeared on our doorstep. Failure is no longer an option. People who don't know any better often reduce the shennong-shi to the role of the skilled entertainer, able to artfully pour and present the common drink. Trained shennong-shi are proficient at the basics, of course. The flavors appropriate for different occasions, the correct shape and make of the cup to match the tea being served. But the true wielders of shennong magic have their unique specialties. Some brew teas for emotions, compassion, hope, love. Others are able to imbue the body with energy or encourage the drinker to remember something long thought lost. They move past the walls of the body and into the soul itself. Using the flickering light of the brazier to guide me, I pull out the tray and the accompanying pots, one for steeping and one for resting. Over the sound of the bubbling water, I hear a creak in the next room. I freeze, afraid of a long dark shadow against the wall, and my father's accompanying wrath. But it's only the rumbling of father's snores. I let out a quiet breath and return to my tools. Using the wooden tongs, I pick up the balls of tea leaves and place them in the vessel. With a careful turn of the wrist, the hot water flows over the leaves. They uncurl slowly, releasing their secrets. The greatest shennong-shi can see the future unfolding, wavering in the steam over a well-brewed cup. Once, Mother brewed fupenzi, dried from the leaves of the raspberry bush, for a pregnant woman in the village. The steam burned blue in the morning air, taking the form of 4 shining needles. From this, she discerned correctly that the child would be stillborn. I hear her voice as the leaves expand in the water. How she used to tell us the evening fog follows the white wingtips of the mountain guardian, the goddess who turns into a bird at dusk. She is the lady of the south who dropped a single leaf from her beak into the cup of the first emperor and gifted humans the pleasure of tea.